Hello and welcome to Forge from Iron. I'm Gatesy, your host. I just wanted to do this little stream to go over some stories that are out there on the internet regarding West Ham United. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to like, comment on and share the stream, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and please don't forget to hit the bell icon to get alerts on new content. And as always, guys, we thank you very much indeed for your support in this matter. Okay, so the first story I want to bring to your attention, there's a story, and forgive me, this is from the Chelsea Chronicle, but there are other sources. I've just selected this one completely at random. And the story said the headline is, quote, "A very good fit. West Ham told to go out and sign 23-year-old from Chelsea this summer." The player in question is Christian Pulisic. Now, Pulisic is obviously someone that's known to us because a couple of weeks ago in the game at Stamford Bridge, he got the only goal of the match, which decided where the 3 points were going, and sadly it wasn't to London Stadium. But this is Shaka Hislop who's made the quote, for our former goalkeeper. And he has urged West Ham to go out and try and sign him, Christian Pulisic, in the summer transfer window. Now, he went to Stamford Bridge for £58 million from Borussia Dortmund in 2019. Now, he's having a little bit of a season that's a little bit iffy, shall we say, a little bit checkered in terms of injuries that have kept him out, and just he can't get in the squad. It was ankle injury this season. It has been the main issue. And recently, in the last day or two, Christian Pulisic's father has actually taken to Twitter to articulate his displeasure and his son's displeasure at his lack of game time. And Shaka Hislop seems to think that it may well be a good move for all parties concerned if Pulisic went to West Ham. And I have to say that there's a part of me that thinks there might be a point that he has in this. Shaka Hislop is quoted as saying, "That step down to another club, a smaller club. Craig mentions my former club, West Ham, which I think would be a great fit for him. Might be exactly what he needs if he's to be playing, if he wants to start and start regularly. I think that would be a very good fit and a very good fit for him, both in terms of where he is as a player and the type of football that West Ham play." Now, for those of you that don't know, he is an American international. In fact, he is the United States captain. He has got 48 caps and 21 goals. He's 23 years of age, so he's still quite young, despite the fact that he seems to have been around for an awful lot longer. He was at Borussia Dortmund before he was at Chelsea. And he's also played for the United States at under 17 and under 15 level. He was something of a child prodigy. Now, he's very, very versatile. Looking on Transfer Market, they've put him down as he can be played as a right midfielder, a right winger, a left winger, an attacking midfielder, a second striker, or indeed as a centre forward. Very, very versatile, which is obviously something that we know David Moyes likes, a little bit of versatility in a player. His preferred position is as a right winger. He is right-footed, so his strongest position, he is what I would call an orthodox right winger, rather than someone that plays on the right who is actually left-footed, such as Jared Bowen. So he is an orthodox winger rather than what I would term as an inside forward. Now, personally, I think that this could be a decent shout. His contract expires in the summer of 2024, so he will have 2 years left on his contract to run at Chelsea. Now, the way I'm looking at it is around about 2 years left on your contract. That's probably the optimal time for a club to move a player on if it's fairly apparent that the player is unhappy and that he's not going to sign an extension to his current deal. And obviously, given the tweet that Pulisic's father has put out, it would seem to suggest that he isn't happy, and that unless he's given certain assurances about his game time, he's very unlikely to sign any contract extension. So personally, I think that this could be a good move for Chelsea. it could be a good move for Pulisic, but primarily it could be a good move for West Ham. He's lightning fast, 47 caps for the national team, 21 goals for the United States of America. And as far as Chelsea's concerned, he's played 111 matches in all competitions, 24 goals, 18 assists. In his time at Borussia Dortmund as well, just for a little bit more information, 127 appearances in all competitions, 19 goals and 26 assists. This guy's a very dangerous operator in the final third of the pitch, as we found to our cost at Stamford Bridge a few weeks ago. For me, I think that this would be a guy that I'd actually be quite interested to get him in. My one concern is, as I say, he does have a few injuries on the list of appearances that he's got for Chelsea, from hamstring injuries, tearing the abductor muscle, ankle injuries seem to be a prevalent theme. But I personally think that would be factored into any price that would be negotiated between the two clubs. For me, I think if Pulisic in the summer does become available, is he a player that I would be interested in personally? I absolutely would. Again, this stream is all about opinions, though. You guys might be a little bit more hesitant. You might have certain reservations about Christian Pulisic coming to London Stadium in the summer. Please get them in the comments section below. Let me know what your thoughts are, or indeed if you agree with me and you think Christian Pulisic would be a fantastic addition to the squad at West Ham for next season. Again, the comment section is below. Please get stuck in. The next story I want to cover off, and this is from Hammers News, and the headline says, West Ham want to sign 24-year-old Tottenham ace in the summer transfer window. Antonio Conte open to selling. Now, straight away I saw that and I thought, we're interested in a Tottenham player. That could be interesting. And it says here that the Tottenham player in question, he isn't actually at Tottenham at the moment. He's actually in the Scottish Premiership with Celtic, who at this moment in time are heading the Scottish Premiership and are probably going to win the title north of the border. And his name is Cameron Carter-Vickers. Now, this is a name that I've heard. I have to be honest and say I've not really seen this guy play, but I have heard the name floating around. Now, he is a centre-back by trade. Now, obviously, we know that at centre-back this season, we've had a few issues. We've had Kurt Zouma out a couple of times. We've had Angelo Ogbonna out for a good few months, and obviously, he's knocking on in years. Craig Dawson as well has been absolutely fantastic, don't get me wrong, but again, he's the wrong side of 30, and he's going to be 32 in actual fact fairly soon. So, getting a player in that position that's possibly a little bit younger, I don't think it's a bad idea in theory. Now, he's actually a United States international. He was born in Southend-on-Sea, but his father is an American, and that is how he qualifies to play for the United States. As I say, he has 8 caps for them. He also has got caps for the under-18s, under-20s, and under-23s for the United States. However, I do have a reservation. The reservation is that in his senior career, Cameron Carter-Vickers has made only 5 appearances for Tottenham Hotspur. None of them have come in the Premier League. They have all come in either the FA Cup or the League Cup or in European competition. He's made no appearances in the Premier League. He has had times out on loan. Sheffield United, Ipswich Town, Swansea City, Stoke City, Luton Town and Bournemouth. All of these teams were in the Championship. And now he's been loaned out again to Scottish Premiership team Celtic. Now, with the best will in the world, I would suggest that the Scottish Premiership is probably a similar sort of level to the Championship. I have to be honest, I'm thinking that this signing is a bit more of a risk than possibly the Pulisic signing might be, because I'm not quite sure if this guy is up to this level, or is up to the Premiership. However, when I said this to my son, he actually made a really good point, and he said, well, what about Jarrod Bowen? He'd never really played Premier League football. I think he maybe made a handful of appearances for Hull City a few seasons back, but really and truly, Jarrod Bowen didn't have a tried and tested track record at Premier League level. And yet look at him now, he's absolutely flying. So there is possibly a case to be made to say that maybe he is someone that could come into the West Ham team and play a role. I have to say, I think possibly not for me. As I say, I just look at it and think he's been at Tottenham since 2016 as far as his pro career is concerned. Before that, his youth career, he signed as a youth player at Tottenham in 2009. But as I say, he's not made a Premier League start at all any point, which probably says to me that the various managers that there have been, Pochettino, Mourinho, Conte, Nuno, they've all looked at this guy and thought he's not up to the mark. So I'm not entirely convinced that this is the answer to any issues that we might have at centre-back. Again, comment sections below. You guys might have seen him play in the Scottish Premiership. And again, I know that there are players that have come from the Scottish Premiership to come into the Premier League and have done so with a great deal of aplomb. One prime example that straight away I think of is Virgil van Dijk. Virgil van Dijk was at Celtic. He then goes to Southampton, and obviously he's now doing what he's doing at Liverpool. So possibly I could be wrong. Comment sections below. Cameron Carter-Vickers plays for Tottenham, but he's currently on loan at Celtic. American international, centre-back by trade, 24 years of age. Give us your thoughts. Comment sections below. Cameron Carter-Vickers, what are your thoughts on him? The last piece I want to cover off, and this is from West Ham Zone. The headline is, Leeds United could break Kalvin Phillips' promise after West Ham United's £50 million January bid. Now, we know that there were a bid. In fact, Duke has been on the channel before, my channel co-host, and he has obviously had certain conversations which he let the cat out of the bag on Talk West Ham the other night when he said that he knows someone that operates within football in a sort of like an administrative capacity, to put it like that. And it's a matter of fact that West Ham put in 3 bids on transfer deadline day to Leeds United, the third time of which we put in a bid of £60 million and we were told to come back in the summer. Not a flat no. So it could be that Kalvin Phillips comes in the summer. Now, it says that there's a bid of around about £55 million that could be going in. And he's also, this could hinge on the fact that whether Leeds are still a Premier League club at the end of the season. He's obviously an established England international now, Kalvin Phillips, and I rather think that he would not be keen on hanging around at Leeds. I'm sure that Leeds is a club that's close to his heart, but let's be completely honest about it. He's established himself in the England setup. He's 26 years of age. He'll be 27 in December. And I rather suspect that if they do succumb to the drop into the Championship, that he won't be too keen to hang around and harm his England ambitions ahead of a World Cup. So I suspect that if Leeds do drop down, Kalvin Phillips will not be a Leeds player for too much longer. Also, he's one of their more valuable assets in terms of a transfer fee that could be raised. Again, this is a player that has, as of the summer, 2 years left on his current deal. So again, I'm looking at it and thinking that's usually the time when you either get the player to sign the deal or you move him on, because 12 months down the line, when now he's got 1 year on his deal, it's really sort of squeaky bum time in that sense. So, and obviously there's a good relationship between Kalvin Phillips and Declan Rice. And could it be that the signing of Kalvin Phillips in the summer could be enough to persuade Declan Rice to at least stick around for another 12 months? Obviously, he's his England colleague. They're very close friends. And it may well be that that could also be a reason for Declan Rice to stick around, a statement of intent from the board at West Ham that we're serious about pushing on. Obviously, he also could be a replacement for Declan Rice if Declan Rice does go in the summer. Hopefully he doesn't. But as I've said before, I rather suspect that he's going to move on in the summer of 2023. By that time, Kalvin Phillips, if we go for him in the summer, would have had 12 months working alongside Declan Rice, would have bedded into the squad. He gets to know everybody. And then obviously, if and when Declan Rice does move on, he is the heir apparent. Now, the only thing, again, that does concern me is this season he's had a number of injuries. He's had a hamstring injury, which has put him out for 21 Premier League matches. That's quite a lot. And that is probably the one reservation I have about Kalvin Phillips. I don't have any reservations about his quality. He's, like I say, he's an established England international. He had a magnificent European Championships in our run to the final for England. But as I say, I'm looking at his injuries record this season, and there's just a little bit of caution that I think needs to be exercised. But I would be very happy to get him in the summer. But again, you guys might have a slightly different point of view, or you might agree with me. And either way, you've got a comment section below. Please get stuck in. So the three players I'm talking about, just to recap: Christian Pulisic from Chelsea, yes or no? Cameron Carter-Vickers, currently at Celtic in the Scottish Premiership, but he's a Tottenham player, centre-back, 24 years of age, yes or no? And Kalvin Phillips, again, 26 years of age, at Leeds United, England international, but a little bit of an injury question mark, it has to be said. So all three of these players, there's pieces out there on the internet where it could be argued that these are players that we are looking at, or maybe should be looking at, or not, as the case may be. As I say, you might think otherwise. Please get stuck into the comments section below. Thank you very much indeed for listening to me. And please don't forget to drop a like on the stream, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and make sure you hit that bell icon for alerts on any new content as and when it is uploaded to the channel. Come on, you Irons.